Welcome to ZakDTV, your place for interesting news from around the net. In today's episode, we are going to look at definitive proof as to how the pyramids were built, and we also have new evidence into when life on Earth began, and we're going to wrap this all up with a giant find of Roman antiques in England. And if you want more interesting news 7 days a week, click the subscribe button over here so you know when I upload something new. Alright, let's get right into this. Archaeologist Mark Lear recently found a diary written in 2600 BC that details how the stone was transported to the sites of the pyramid. Specifically, it details how the largest of the three pyramids in Giza was built using 2.5-ton blocks that were ferried in from over 500 miles away. In this diary, written by a guy named Mirror, M-E-R-E-R, Mirror, I don't know. You guys can pronounce it however you want. Outlines how the workers during the construction of Khufu's pyramid dug canals from the Nile River into the base of the pyramids of Giza. Mark Lear also states that we've outlined the central canal basin, which we think was a primary delivery area to the foot of the Giza plateau. That's right, these archaeologists have uncovered the ancient canals that were used to ship the stone in on what they say were wooden boats that were held together with rope. It's a very basic floating device, but a great way to get stone to the Giza plateau from 400 miles away. No. This work, written by Mirror, details how he and his crew of 40 men built the canals and even opened giant dikes to channel the water into this system of waterways. This is the only scroll of its kind ever found. Unfortunately, it does sort of rule out the aliens built it narrative that a lot of people like to believe. And although it's not as cool as the aliens, it is pretty amazing to think that our ancient ancestors were able to do this, back before modern equipment was on the scene. Next, let's take a quick look at a report that was published in the journal Nature. This paper details how researchers from the University of Tokyo found evidence of life in 3.95 billion year old rock from Labrador in Canada. And while they didn't find fossils, they found evidence of a type of carbon that's produced by living organisms when they decay. And in fact, the amount of this carbon that is found in rocks this old leads researchers to believe the world was covered in very basic forms of life. I mean, at this point, we're really talking like single-cell organisms, not dinosaurs or anything to that effect. And as you have to think, rock like this is extremely old and has gone through a lot of different processes. So in order to rule out that this material got into the rocks after they had formed, has been ruled out by testing the structure of this carbon and seeing that it has gone through the same stresses as the rock surrounding it. And another thing to look at with this study is that the oldest fossil was found to be about 3.7 billion years old. So that helps support that less advanced organisms were on the planet well before then. But this does move the clock back a couple ticks on when we think life started here on this planet. And finally, let's move forward in the timeline to around 400 AD. That's around the time researchers figure that this cache of Roman antiques was buried in Gloucestershire. Pete Cresswell found the hoard while out metal detecting with his brother-in-law. The find is hailed as the first such found in Britain, and it contains a lot of broken pieces of bronze statues and furniture accessories, stuff like that. And it does include this very cool statue of a licking dog, which makes researchers believe that this could have been the location of a healing temple, because this type of dog was seen in healing rituals. Some of this bronze work is absolutely amazing to see too, and even though a lot of this is broken, and researchers think it might have been broken on purpose, it is still pretty neat to see the kind of art that our ancestors could make so long ago. They are keeping this find under special conditions at the Bristol Museum. Archaeologists are also exploring this site even further, and the experts at the museum plan to present their findings at the end of this year. But if you'd like to see more about this, I'm going to leave a link in the description below so you can go check out these pieces they've already cataloged. So which of these stories do you find most interesting? And do you think that there's a place for ancient history on my channel alongside all of our futuristic advances? Let me know what you think in the comments below. I am considering ditching this segment. But if you enjoyed this piece, go ahead and click that like button. It really helped my channel grow. Keep in mind, I do this 5 days a week with a live stream on Saturday and a short on Sunday, so I hope to see you here again. And until next time, have fun and be safe.